My monologue is from the perspectives of two people, and I tried to emphasise a voice that I felt like I could do better. So there's sort of the villain of a monologue, and for that I just sort of took the most ignorant things I'd ever thought, the most ignorant things I'd ever heard anybody who I still thought was a good person say, if that makes sense. You know, the kind of things that come from ignorance rather than from necessarily hatred or bigotry, but you might not necessarily know, that can lead you to say things that, you know, as I was reading and learning more, I was discovering how damaging ignorance can be.
What do you want me to talk about? HIV and foster care. That's my whole life. You want me to talk about my whole life?
It's something that's so emotionally loaded in society today that it was a particular challenge, sort of trying to put myself in somebody else's shoes in a way that was sensitive, in a way that didn't feel like I was sort of assuming. I don't know, I found it was a real stretch, and I actually put off writing my monologue for a really long time. And when I finally did, and especially seeing the other monologues performed and seeing what other people, some of whom I knew, some of whom I didn't, had done with the same challenge, just really, it actually made me want to write more monologues for the project.
Yeah, it was a strange experience interviewing Eric. I'm a filmmaker, that's who I am, and I'm always looking for a story. So when I found out Eric had HIV, I was pleased. This was exactly the angle I needed.
I think we all think about these issues, and really putting yourself in a very realistic place, not of a victim, but of an actual person, is a really powerful and important thing to do. And I think that we often sort of phrase ourselves as like a social media saver, or like, oh no, it must be so terrible for those people, but to actually try and empathise in a real way with the good and the bad, I think is one of the most important things we can do.
The good news, they tell me, is that now people with HIV can live a near normal lifespan as someone who's negative. But it's not really the same kind of life. I think that's fair to say.
Obviously, our knowledge about HIV today continues to develop. The situation continues to develop. So you have to keep learning, and you sort of have to, I think, forgive yourself for your past ignorance, because, you know, I came out of doing my first monologue and thought, oh, I'm so enlightened now. You know, look at how ignorant I was now. And now, many months later, I look back at that person and that seems ignorant. And I hope that in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, I will continue to look back and think how ignorant I was at that point, because that means that I'm continuing to engage with the issue and to learn and to grow. You know, I can't imagine anybody who is thoughtful and feeling and who cares about this issue not getting something out of that.